All right, welcome to day 2 of the training. Today, we're going to dive deep into your Google Business Profile because it is your number one asset, and we really need to get this right before we do anything else, before your website gets fixed, before anything gets fixed, your Google Business Profile has to be correct. Okay, so let's start here. What you'll learn today is search dominance, primary category, the importance of it, secondary categories if you have them, the importance of it. I'm going to be doing a live demonstration. I'm going to share my bot with you in the comments. You'll see on the first comment I shared the bot with you, so you can check your own categories yourself, your service section, your NAP consistency, and verification. Okay, and here we go. Okay. Local SEO is a different sport. That's what we talked about yesterday, and it absolutely is. We're not trying to rank nationwide. We're trying to rank within a targeted area of up to 2 hours away. I like to keep mine between 1 hour and 15 minutes and 1.5 hours away. And with that, in Fort Collins, Colorado, I have 19 other locations that are within an hour and 15 minutes from me that I built location pages for. And so you know what we talked about yesterday? We talked about proximity, relevance, and prominence, the Google Business Profile at the top of everything. So let's just get going and let's talk about that right now. All right, so your Google Business Profile is your digital storefront. So if you had a store and you're a Macy's, people walk into that store, they buy clothes, they buy whatever they're going to buy inside of a Macy's store. Think of this as your Macy's store, right? This is your storefront, your Google Business Profile. So 90% Google shows your Google Business Profile before your website in 90% of local service queries. And that's important to understand, because if you're not in the top 3 and you're down to the top 20, you're going to miss out on a whole lot of calls. And that's, quite frankly, when I sold my business 10 years ago, I owned several service businesses. The reason I got what I got, the amount of money, is because I was in maps and I was in organic. And back then it was the top 7, I think, the 7-pack. I can't remember, but now it's the top 3. The map pack is just 3. First impressions, everything, right? Searchers for HVAC repair in Loveland see your Google Business Profile card first, your name, your ratings, your hours, your phone number. It's a living document. Don't ever forget that. Update your Google Business Profile like you update your truck lettering in your service business. Every blank field is a missed signal. When you're filling out your Google Business Profile, don't miss anything. Fill everything out, all right? And in the age of AI, that's real simple for you to get help if you can't figure something out, what to say. It will help you say what you probably couldn't figure out on your own, all right? Your Google Business Profile is your storefront. Your website mirrors it. That's the law. That's what we're going to be training in all this week into the weeks after that, okay? And then your phone doesn't ring from a half-filled out Google Business Profile. Absolutely true. All right, primary category, the most important decision you make. I'm going to show you in my bot today what that looks like. And when you pick your primary category, the reason this is important is because you're telling Google this is primarily what you do. And then your secondary categories are things that you also do, but your primary category is a big one. It's a heavy hitter, okay? And so I'm going to show you how to look at your competitors' categories, the ones that are outbeating you, the ones that might be in the top 3, see what they're showing, see what they're saying, and then go from there. All right, how to pick your primary category. I'm going to show you how to do it with my bot. It's going to take a lot of these headaches away. So, for instance, roofing contractor beats contractor every day, every second. The contractor could be 1,000 things. Roofing contractor is narrowed down into you are a roofing contractor. You don't build houses, you put roofs on houses. All right? Plumber beats home services every day. If you're a plumber, you're not a home service. All right? You're a plumber. Match what people search. They're not searching for home services. I have never searched for home services when I needed a plumber. I've always searched plumber near me. HVAC use HVAC contractor, not air conditioning repair. Now, remember I was talking about secondary categories? So if you're an HVAC contractor, That's your primary category. You could have a secondary category for air conditioning repair with repair services under it, all right? But remember, there's one primary category. That's what we're talking about right now. So pick the service that drives 70% of your revenue. HVAC contractor, plumber, roofing contractor. Those are the words, right? All right. So you only change it when your business shifts. Secondary categories used carefully. I already said you can use up to 9 secondary categories. I've never done that for any of our clients. I don't go over more than 5 at the most, even though I can have 10 of categories. 1 primary, 9 secondaries. Remember, every time you add a category, you're lessening the chance of, you're diluting it is what you're doing. So don't dilute it. Just because you think you need all these services and all these categories, remember, if you're going to take all these categories and all those services, those have to be on your website also. And we're going to learn that as we go through all this. A roofing company that does gutters might have gutter cleaning service as another category. There's a couple of gutter categories. There's gutter installation, there's gutter cleaning. So if you install them and if you also clean them, you would have 2 separate categories, 2 separate additional categories. Don't add categories for services. You rarely do. You don't want to do this, all right? You just don't. You want to get all that juice on the stuff you want to do. You want Google to really narrow in on what you're great at so you can get that work. And then irrelevant secondaries dilute your primary signal. And like I was just saying, every secondary category must have a matching service page on your website. And we get into that as we go through all these. All right, service section. List every individual service, roof repair, roof replacement, emergency roof tarping, etc., under that category that goes under the category. I'm going to show you an easy way here in a minute by using my bot, but you might have additional categories that my bot doesn't pick up, so you would add those. Each service gets a name plus description, up to 300 characters for natural language. I use descriptions on all my services every time I put them in there. One thing that it helps me with, Google will add categories. They'll add services without telling you. You'll have to go in there and look at it every few days and make sure they didn't do that. And I know right away if they added a service because there's no description. And so I'll show you mine in a minute what I mean. Google uses this section to match you to specific search queries. Fill it out completely. It's important, okay? Like I said, now with AI, it's very easy to do. Name, address, phone number must be 100% identical across all citations. I'm going to show you one that's off by 1 letter in a minute so you can see what I mean. Mismatch, like Joe's Plumbing versus Joe's Plumbing. See right here. We're going to go mismatch Joe's Plumbing versus Joe's Plumbing LLC is different than just Joe's Plumbing. My company name is Top Click Joe Inc. period incorporated. I don't spell it out. It's Inc. That's what's on my business papers. Address matters. 123 Main Street versus 123 MAIN Street, right? STREET. Pick one and stick to it. All right, the problem. Okay, so let's talk about this. Client, Greeley Plumbing Company, 8 years in business, all right? Baseline, 0 map pack presence. Root cause, primary category was contractor. Google didn't know they were plumbers. And I run into this a lot when we do audits. Issues, empty services, mismatched GBT, phone versus website. The fix, change primary category to plumber. Add related services with full descriptions. Sync NAP, name, address, phone number across 22 citations. We do a lot more than 22 citations. There's these main citations like Yelp, Better Business Bureau, those types of things, okay? That you're going to do all the time, and then you're going to add other ones. The result, 10 times the call volume increase within 60 days. I've seen this over and over. Before the fix, you got 3 calls a month. After, you got 31 calls. Who doesn't want that? Everybody wants that. Map pack appearance for top terms within 47 days. This was actually from one of our clients. All right. Google Business Profile mistakes that cost you jobs every week. So, wrong primary category, home services instead of roofing contractor. I'm going to go over this again. I want to drill it into your head. It's extremely important. Keyword stuff name. You can't do things like best HVAC, triggers, suspension, Suspension by Google. I thought it said suspicion by Google. So you don't want to do that, right? Your description, the keyword best HVAC, you're an HVAC company. You're not the best unless we all think we're the best, right? You don't want to write it like that. Empty service section, only 2 to 3 items means leaving critical relevance signals on the table. When you're filling out your services, you want to list every service under that category. You don't want to leave anything out. But remember, the real work begins on your website where you'll have to build full pages for each of those services, not list them all on one page for the service. Lack of real photos. Use real photos with your company ID. A lot of times I'll take videos of myself or pictures, and I have a shirt that says Top Click Joe Incorporated that I'll wear when I do that, right? Whenever I'm doing anything to do with my company, I want to have a logo because Google says, oh yeah, that's a real business. There they are, okay? And you're doing photos around landmarks that your city knows about and Google knows about, okay? And then also generic phone greeting. Google tracks call quality signals. Generic greetings hurt conversions. I just read what was on here. A lot of us have recordings or greetings on our phone that say, I'm not here right now, leave a message, I'll call you back. That is very unfriendly, right? You want to be a little more descriptive. Hi, this is Joe with Top Click Joe. I will get back to you within 1 hour. I'm either on a Zoom meeting right now or I'm helping a client, but you are very important to me and I will call you back within an hour. That's just a quick thing off the top of my head. That's way better than, hey, leave a message and I'll get back to you, okay? Tell them who you are, tell them where they're calling, and then tell them you'll get back to them. Inconsistent GBP posting. Posts expire. Maintain recency with at least one post per week. I like doing daily posts. The thing about it is being consistent. If you do one a week and then you wait 6 months and you do another one, that's very inconsistent. So if at any rate, try to do a minimum of one a week. Try to upload 5 photos a week of jobs you're doing before and after. Remember, everything's about people hire you because of before and after. Hey, my lawn looked like this, and then this is what it looks like after this lawn care place have been taking care of me for 90 days, or something like that. All right, the pyramid. So the Google Business Profile is the very top always. Your category page is going to mirror your Google Business Profile category that you have, your primary and your secondaries, okay? So you're going to mirror it on your website. And you learned this in my YouTube channel. I talk about this all the time, what it looks like. If you go through the playlist of the 12 steps of Street-Level SEO, you're going to know how to do this. And I'm going a little more in depth in each of these videos to try to help you understand it even further. Website links, website category page links to the Google Business Profile via Google Maps embed. I've shown you that in other videos. You're basically putting in the URL to your Google Maps from your Google Business Profile because it links up. And I'm going to show you the map again. I'll show you our graph, what that looks like. All right. Citation reinforcement. Citations are important. Yelp, Angie's List. I don't think it's called Angie's List anymore. It's called Angie. And then the BBB, right? Those types of places that you want to make it. It's the same everywhere. We've already talked about it in the prior slide, but if you name your street ST period, it needs to be like that everywhere, not STREET. All right. Content loops, Google Business Profile posts linked to specific service pages. The content loop starts here. The anchor rule, without a correctly configured GBP, the rest of everything we're doing does not matter at all. And I'm going to show you a live example here in a second. Okay, today's exercise, your Google Business Profile audit plus fix session. Okay, log into Google, like business.google.com, open your GBP dashboard. If you're the owner, you're going to be able to open the dashboard and get to it and work on it. Check primary category. Is it the most specific service category available? If not, fix it right now. When I show you the bot and I give you the link to this, you'll be able to do all this on your own. Service section. List every service you offer with a 1 to 2 sentence description each. So when you're putting your services under your category, and I'll show you mine, it's 1 to 2 sentences. You want to have a description so Google knows what it's about. Expand on it. 1 to 2 sentences. I like 2 sentences usually because I want to say a little bit more, but that's what I like. NAP check. Compare your Google Business Profile, name, address, phone against your website footer exactly, or wherever you have your address on your website, okay? Step 5, add at least 5 real job photos from the last 90 days. Before, after, crew working, job site, your uniform with your patch or whatever it is. Let Google know you're the real deal. And then screenshot your completed GBP info screen and service section and share it, right? And then I will see if I can help you with that. All right. How do you know your GBP is set up right? Here's how you're going to know it. Must be the most specific match to your core service, not contractor. Service list. 10 plus individual services, each with a unique and clear description. The 10 plus isn't a hard rule, but I try to do that with all of our clients. And if you're a roofing contractor, you do roof installation, residential roof installation, you do roof repair, you do tarping. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do to get to that 10 plus. NAP consistency, I can't say that enough. It's extremely important that it matches your website, your Google Business Profile, your Better Business Bureau, your Yelp, everywhere. Visual proof, at least 10 real job photos uploaded, strictly no stock images allowed. I said that slow for a reason. Stock images are going to kill you. That's what your competitors are doing. Don't do it. Insights growth, searches increase in a week over week. Within 30 days of implementing these fixes, you start to see really cool things. Your list is visible when Googling your exact business name. That's called the knowledge panel, okay? And I'll show you that in a second. And then my role, your Google Business Profile is your storefront. Your website mirrors it. That's the law by me, okay? And then tomorrow, we're going to mirror your Google Business Profile on your website. So I'm going to be showing you how to take what's in your Google Business Profile and do it and make your website mirror it exactly, okay? All right, so now, next step, apply it today, show it to me tomorrow, right? Bring your site URL. You're not going to bring it, this isn't live, but you want to work this through yourself. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you what this looks like. Now, right here, we have my internet marketing services, my primary category. And see my description right here? These are services. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Sorry. Hold on. Let me click out of that. Let me open that up. And you're going to see I wrote a couple of sentences here. There's mine, okay? Let me cancel that. And so you're going to see I have services under Internet Marketing Service has 16 services down to here. Then I have additional categories. Marketing Agency has different services under it with descriptions. I have Website Designer. That's another category, an additional category. And there it is. There's all the services under it. And I have one last one. Advertising Agency is where we put all of our PPC stuff like Google ads, Facebook ads, Microsoft ads, those kind of things, right? So there's mine. Now, what I want to do is I want to show you, I did a search. Number one, what we're going to do, this is my bot right here, okay? I've already filled out, on my bot, you copy and paste the questions, put them in here, and then answer the questions. I've already done that. And I'm going with the Weed Man. It's not what you think, okay? So the Weed Man is actually a service that does fertilization, insect control, weed control, all this kind of stuff. That's what he does. I want you to pay attention to something here that I was talking about. Remember the NAP? Here's his address here. Let me go to the footer. Is it in the footer? Nope, he has it at the top only. So here it is. 1001 A East Harmony Road, E for East, number 133. Okay, now I'm going to go to his Google Business Profile. Pay attention to the A. Here's his Google Business Profile. Here's his address, and it's lowercase a. It does not match exactly his website. So he would want to change this, or he would want to change this to an upper A. Now, how you know how you need to have your address is Google uses the post office for your address. You can go online and verify your address with the post office. You can do a search and it will give you how the post office sees your address. That's exactly how Google sees it. They look at that, and you want to mirror that, okay? So you want that NAP the same everywhere. Anyway, we're going to go with the weed man today. He does weed control and all that. And I filled all this out, and I told you I was going to show you a live demonstration. So what I did is, the first part, I put his name, what he does. I just went to his about thing, and I copied the description. I said his main service is fertilization, only because when I look at services, fertilization is first. I go down here, fertilization is first. Maybe that's not his thing, but he's not my client, so I'm just making this up as I go. And so and any other services, I copied all their services right here. Everything else they do, they're both residential and commercial. I looked it up. They're a single location, even though they're a franchise. This one in Fort Collins is a single location. And when I click this arrow, go, it will create the categories for me, and it will create the services under there that it thinks it needs to be based on how I built my bot agent with all 4,037 categories and the services, so it knows what to do. And so let's see what it came up with right here. And that only took a few seconds. So the primary category is lawn care service. I think that's what he has, is lawn care service. Yep. So he is doing that. I don't know about his other, unless I was in I can get into this. But so we know that's it. So there's lawn fertilization, weed control, crabgrass control, core aeration, lawn overseeding, lawn disease control, ornamental bed weed control, secondary category pest control service, because they do this: mosquito control, grub control, insect control, perimeter pest control. Now, if I look at his stuff over here and I look at his services, I think we got a lot of this in here. We got perimeter pest control, disease control. So he has mosquito control, overseeding, all that's in there. But I have mine in two separate categories. So my bot built him two categories, not one. And if there's something that's not in here that's on his website, I'm going to add it. But then what we're going to do, so once I look at this, I'm going to do it like mine, and I'm going to put descriptions, and then we're going to go on from there. Now, I want to show you one thing. What you just learned today was we're looking at building our Google Business Profile and our category. So we're right here, and we started talking about services a little bit, okay? So when you build out your website, and we'll get into this in another training, I'll just show you this real quick. You're going to start with your NAP is number one. I don't have it on here, but the NAP is, if the NAP isn't the same, you're screwed anyway. Make sure your Google Business Profile is set up correctly. Then start building out those pages on your website, your category page. Remember, I had 4. I had a primary internet marketing service, and I had these 3, and I have all these services under it. I have more services than this. I didn't want to make this thing too big. Then we're going to go on to location pages and helper pages. And this is our Power Link Matrix, where we link everything up for the foundation. But you'll be learning about all that as we go on, okay? All right. So now what I want to do is I want to end this, and I want to thank you for being here today, and I'll see you tomorrow in the next video as we keep doing these series and I keep teaching you more and more. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.